University Challenge. Asking the questions, Amol Rajan.
Hello and welcome to University Challenge. We're now about halfway through round one of this year's competition. 6 student teams have secured their spots in round 2, and whoever wins tonight will join them, while the losers will need to wait and see if their score will be high enough to guarantee them a place in the playoffs at the end of this round. The University of Reading is making a welcome return to this competition 2 years after achieving its best ever result, a narrow loss to Imperial in the 2022 final. The university began life as an extension college of the University of Oxford, and during that period was home to the UK's first female professor, Edith Morley. Today, Reading has a particularly strong reputation in the fields of meteorology, climate science and agriculture, with notable alumni including crop scientist Tim Wheeler, organic farming pioneer Eve Balfour and weather presenter Thomas Schaffernaker. Let's meet the team representing Reading tonight.
Hi, I'm Kasani Salvaramish. I'm studying biomedical science and I'm from London.
Hi, I'm Josh Finkelstein. I'm from Toronto, Canada, and I'm studying a Master's in Agricultural Economics.
And their captain?
Hi, I'm Rhiannon Snook. I'm from Rugby in Warwickshire and I'm studying for a PhD in philosophy.
Hi, I'm Stuart Rock. I live in West Dorset and I'm studying an MA in history.
The University of Exeter has its roots in a pair of schools of art and science established in the wake of the Great Exhibition of 1851. The modern university has 2 main campuses around 80 miles apart, one in Exeter itself and the other in Penryn, which is home to the Institute of Cornish Studies and the Camborne School of Mines. Notable alumni include the politician Sajid Javid, the screenwriter Abby Morgan and the musician Tom York. And this year's team are the 20th from the university to appear in this competition. Let's meet them.
Hi, I'm Riker Moorcroft. I'm studying Masters in Natural Sciences and I'm from Ramsgate.
Hi, I'm Lucy Carr. I'm from Hitchin in Hertfordshire and I'm studying art history and classics.
And their captain?
Hello, I'm Martin Newman. I'm originally from Leighton Buzzard in Bedfordshire and I'm a PhD candidate in modern history.
Hello, my name's Elliot Muelli. I'm from Wells in Somerset and I study ancient history and archaeology.
It's very nice to see you all. I think you know how this works, so shall we begin? Right then, fingers on buzzers. Here is your first starter for 10. What concept is this? In a study of this subject, Hannah Arendt states that it is a prime mover of history, but it's rarely been studied because it was taken for granted and therefore neglected. She notes that it appears when power is in jeopardy. In The Wretched of the Earth, Frantz Fanon sees it as a precondition to liberation from colonialism, whilst
Exeter Muelli.
Violence?
It is violence, yes, exactly. Your bonuses then, Exeter, are 3 questions on Scotland. What 2-word name is given to the long fault valley that runs about 60 miles southwest to northeast from Fort William on Loch Linney to the Moray Firth?
I don't know.
Sure, just something random, like St. Tides or something. I don't know. Just guess a random something.
The Clyde.
Guess a random something. That's not necessarily the best approach. No, it's the Great Glen. Built by Thomas Telford from 1803, which waterway runs the length of the Great Glen, connecting several large lochs?
Caledonian Canal?
Caledonian. Yeah,
Go on.
The Caledonian Canal.
Correct. What city is situated at the northern end of the Great Glen?
The northern end. So
Inverness.
Inverness could be a shout.
Yeah, Inverness.
Inverness.
Yeah,
Go with Inverness.
I think, yeah.
Inverness.
Correct, yes. Another starter question now. Fingers on buzzers. A cover of which band's song, retitled Dream Lover, was featured heavily in the 1994 Wong Kar-wai film Chungking Express? The original song appeared on the band's debut album, Everybody Else Is Doing It, So Why Can't We? And was co-written by lead singer Dolores O'Riordan.
Exeter Muelli.
The Cranberries?
It is the Cranberries, yes. The original title, Dreams. Your bonuses are on South African cricket grounds. In each case, name the city that is the location of the venue described. First, Newlands, described by Cricinfo as one of the most picturesque places in the world to watch cricket because of its proximity to a prominent geographical feature.
Okay, so that's near.
Near the Cape of Good Hope. So
Yes. Cape Town.
Cape Town. Go with that. Cape Town.
Cape Town.
Yep, there's Table Mountain in the background and apparently a brewery next door. Sounds like heaven. Second, Kingsmead, located close to the Indian Ocean. In 1939, a timeless test between England and South Africa ended in a draw after 9 days of play when England had to catch the boat home.
Durban's on the Indian Ocean.
Durban.
Yes. And finally, also known as the Bull Ring, the Wanderers Stadium in Gauteng province that hosted the 2003 50-over World Cup final.
What else can we have? Johannesburg, Pretoria.
We could go Johannesburg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Johannesburg.
Correct. Let's start the question. Fingers on buzzers. The Treaty of Saint-Clair-sous-Epte of 911 is seen as the founding document of which vassal state of the Kingdom of France? Agreed between King Charles the Simple and the Viking chieftain Rollo, it granted the...
Exeter Mueli.
Normandy?
It is the Duchy of Normandy, yes, well done. Your bonuses then, Exeter, are 3 questions on written Japanese. Which Japanese syllabary is principally used for emphasis and for the transcription of non-Japanese words?
Katakana. Katakana.
Nominate Moorcroft.
Katakana.
Yes. What 5-letter term refers to Chinese characters used in Japanese? Almost 3,000 such characters are in common usage in Japan.
That's kanji.
Nominate Moorcroft.
Kanji.
Yes. And what is the Japanese word for the practice of writing Japanese in the Latin alphabet?
That's Romaji.
Nominate Moorcroft.
Romaji.
It is, well done. Let's start the question. It's a picture round now, and for your picture starter, you'll see a recent chart showing the 4 top countries in mined production of a chemical element. Please name this element.
Exeter Mueli.
Copper?
It is copper, yes. Following copper, your picture bonuses are 3 more charts showing the 4 top producers of a given metal. In each case, simply name the metal. All 3, like copper, are period 4 transition metals. First, for 5 points, this period 4 metal.
So Australia,
Australia's,
Brazil, China, and India.
What are they big in? They're big in... They could be big in iron, I think.
Is that Chinese?
Yeah.
Any thoughts?
Iron.
Yeah, good for iron.
Iron.
Correct. Second, what metal is this?
Okay, so what's that? Philippines,
That's
Indonesia.
Philippines, New Caledonia and Russia.
So what do Russia produce?
I think they
What do you think?
could be nickel, maybe?
Yeah, that's worth a shot.
Yeah.
Nickel.
Correct. Finally, this metal.
Oh, that's the...
So Indonesia, Russia, and Australia.
And that's the, I think, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, which I think is really big on cobalt production.
Cobalt.
Cobalt.
Yes, well done. Well worked out. Plenty of time, Reading, so you get going with this one. Invented in 1883 by a Danish chemist, the eponymous Kjeldahl method is used to measure the content of what chemical element in substances such as food and fertilizers. It involves digesting a substance with sulfuric acid and determining the amount of ammonia released.
Reading Finkelstein.
Nitrogen?
It is nitrogen, yes. You're off the mark. 3 bonuses for you, Reading, on variation in biological organisms. What precise name is used to describe haploid sex cells, such as sperm and eggs, that combine to form a genetically diverse offspring?
Is this zygotes?
What is it?
Gametes?
I think so, gametes,
Nominate Selva-Ramesh.
Gametes?
Gametes is correct, yeah. Haploid cells are formed by what type of cell division? This mode of cell division creates 4 genetically different haploid cells from a single diploid parent cell.
Mitosis and meiosis.
If it's gametes, it's meiosis because it's sexual, right?
Yeah.
Meiosis.
Meiosis.
Correct. How many chromosomes are found in the nucleus of a typical human gamete?
There's 23 pairs. 23 pairs. There's
23 pairs.
Times by 2.
So 23 pairs.
23 pairs.
I'm so sorry, the question asked specifically about gametes, which only have half that number, i.e. 23. Bad luck, guys. Right, the fingers on buzzers. Excluding mountains on the unrecognised British Antarctic territory, the highest peak on British territory is Mount Paget, on which barren island, slightly larger than Mallorca. Situated east-southeast of the Falkland Islands, it is the...
Reading Finkelstein.
South Georgia?
Correct, yes, well done. Your bonuses, Reading, are on constitutional legislation in Britain since 1603. Name the monarch who was on the throne at the time of each of the following. First, the Bill of Rights. This clarified the succession and placed explicit limitations on royal power.
Is it William Mary? Because it's William.
When was it?
1680s. 1688 is Glorious Revolution, isn't it? I think, but I don't know.
What would you
William
say?
and Mary. Yeah.
Nominate Rock.
William and Mary?
Yes. Secondly, the Act of Union that abolished the Irish Parliament and created the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland.
1707.
1707. So
Mary, Anne, or George the First?
Anne, I think.
Anne.
Yeah.
Anne.
No, you're thinking of the wrong Act of Union. It's George III in 1800. Finally, the first of two Parliament Acts that limited the powers of the House of Lords. Henceforth, they could delay legislation for a maximum of 2 years.
Is that whether it's Lloyd George and the People's Parliament? It could be Victoria, but
Yeah,
go
is that your
Victoria.
best?
Yeah,
Yeah.
best stab.
Victoria.
No, it was just a bit later. It's George V
George
in
V.
1911, and the second one was 1949. Now, let's start the question here. The answer I want here is a single word. An image of the solar spectrum, Mozart's Queen of the Night aria, sheep noises, and the phrase, "Hallo to the residents of far skies," spoken in Persian, are among the images and recordings included in the Golden Record sent to space as part of which 1977 NASA twin mission?
Exeter Moorcroft.
Voyager.
Correct, it is Voyager, yes, well done. Your bonuses extra are on works mentioned in science fiction double feature, the opening song of the musical The Rocky Horror Picture Show. The first person mentioned in the song is the actor Michael Rennie, who played the alien Klaatu in the 1951 version of what science fiction film?
Klaatu.
It can't be
I don't know.
Strange Man. I don't know if they made that into a film.
I don't know. Or it could be.
We don't know.
It's The Day the Earth Stood Still. Michael Rennie was ill the day the Earth stood still, but he told us where we stand. The song goes on to say that which superhero was there in silver underwear? Created in 1934 by Alex Raymond, he was played by Sam J. Jones in a 1980 film with Max von Sydow as Ming the Merciless.
Who's got silver underwear?
I don't know. He-Man, maybe? I don't know.
It's Ming the Merciless, is that any?
Oh, that's a shout.
Mm.
Try that.
Ming the Merciless?
I thought that's what he said.
Yeah, we want the superhero who fought Ming the Merciless. Yeah, I don't know.
Come on.
We don't know.
It's Flash Gordon. And Flash Gordon was there in silver underwear. The song later describes how something went wrong for which actress and King Kong? She played Anne Darrow in the first King Kong film in 1933.
Is it Lily somebody?
No, there's Lillian Gish. Was she a famous actress?
Yeah.
We could go with that.
Lillian Gish?
No, it's Fay Ray. Let's start the question now. The Roald Dahl stories Poison, The Swan, The Ratcatcher and The Wonderful World of Henry Sugar were adapted into short films released on Netflix in 2023 by which director?
Reading Snook.
Wes Anderson.
It is Wes Anderson, yes, well done. 3 questions on the early 20th century US author Stephen Vincent Benet. First, what two-word place name concludes the last line of Benet's poem American Names? You may bury my tongue at Champmady, I shall not be there. I shall rise and pass, bury my heart at...
Wounded Knee. Wounded Knee.
Wounded Knee. Wounded Knee.
Yes, well done. The name of which mid-19th century lawyer and US Secretary of State completes the title of Benet's short story The Devil and...
Secretary of State under.
Come on, this is.
Is it under Lincoln? Or
Yeah,
could it be Hannibal Hamlin?
Yeah. Nominate Finkelstein.
Hannibal Hamlin?
No, it's Daniel Webster. Loosely related to the story of the Sabine women, Benet's short story The Sobbin Women is the basis for which film musical of 1954? It concerns a group of siblings who live in a log cabin in the Oregon woods.
Log cabin.
No. Pass.
7 Brides for 7 Brothers. Music round now, and for your music starter, you're going to hear a pop song. For 10 points, I want the name of the artist.
Now in the street there is violence.
Reading Rock.
Eddie Grant.
It is. We're going to pop down to Electric Avenue. On the 16th of July 1983, Eddie Grant's Electric Avenue, which you heard for your starter, was one of 18 tracks by British artists in the US Billboard Top 40. This marked a new record and is often cited by music critics as evidence of a second British invasion into the US market, this time of British new wave and synth pop acts. Your music bonuses are 3 more of those 18 tracks, and you just need to name the band in each case. First...
If it seems a little time is needed, decisions to be made.
Should just name new wave. Do you want to just name new wave?
Just looking for a new direction.
Human League?
It is a human league. Keep feeling fascination, yes. Secondly,
Flock of Seagulls.
yes, it is a flock of seagulls wishing if I had a photograph of you. And finally, come on, I can see you're having a good time listening to it.
Duran Duran?
It is Duran Duran, and is there something I should know? Let's start the question now. When describing biological processes, the compaction of chromosomes during prophase and the reaction that leads to the formation of a peptide bond from two amino acids may both be expressed by what term, also used to indicate the conversion of water vapour into liquid water?
Exeter Moorcroft.
Condensation.
It is condensation, yes, well done. Your bonus is Exeter. 3 questions on geometrical terms, as described in Sir Henry Billingsley's 16th century translation of Euclid's Elements. Of what plane figure does Billingsley's translation state there are 4 kinds: a square, a figure of one side longer than the other, a rhombus or diamond figure, and a rhomboides or diamond-like figure?
Could be, I don't know.
No, it says of what plane.
Of what plane?
So what plane?
Not a rectangle.
I don't know.
Could it just be a quadrilateral? No.
Yeah, that's a good shout, yeah.
Quadrilateral.
I need more than that.
Square?
Square.
I can't accept that, I'm afraid. Square is too specific. Quadrilateral is too broad, and there are more than 4 types of quadrilateral. So parallelogram is what we're after. What does Billingsley state to be a solid or bodily figure which is made when one of the sides of a rectangle parallelogram, abiding fixed, the parallelogram is moved about?
Also, say if one of the sides moves, it could be like a trapezoid.
Or it could be a prism.
Or prism. But
Yeah,
is that in
because it goes from
going out
2D
in a
to
plane?
2D to 3D, yeah.
Prism more than trapezoid.
Yeah, prism.
Prism.
No, that's specifically Billingsley's definition of a cylinder. What other 3-dimensional shape does Billingsley describe as a figure most apt to all motion, as having no base whereon to stay?
Surely it's a sphere.
Yeah.
A sphere.
It is a sphere, yes. Well done. Let's start the question now. Slovenian is among the few living Indo-European languages that make use of what grammatical number alongside singular and plural inherited from Proto-Indo-European?
Exeter Moorcroft.
Dual?
It is dual, yes, well done. Your bonus is Exeter are 3 questions on the Baroque architect and city planner Jules Ardouin Mansart. Mansart lived and worked entirely during the reign of which French king? His monumental works glorifying the king include the Place de Victoire in Paris, with its equestrian statue of him at its centre.
Okay, so if we... It could be like the Sun King, because that's Baroque, goes Louis XIV.
Definitely know.
Yeah.
I'll be back 14th.
Louis XIV.
Yes. Mansart's contribution to enlarging the Palace of Versailles included the Hall of Mirrors, and which outbuilding? It was the location in 1920 of the signing of a treaty that formally ended the war between the Allies and Hungary.
Yes.
Yes.
Sèvres.
No, it's the Grand Trianon. Mansart also designed the domed chapel of which building complex in Paris? Originally built as a residential home for veterans, it now also houses several museums as well as the tomb of Napoleon.
Les Invalides.
Les Invalides.
Yes, well done. Let's start the question now. The Dog of Titwal and Toba Tek Singh are short stories by Manto concerning the violent consequences of which event of 1947? Its repercussions are also chronicled in...
Reading Finkelstein.
The independence of India.
Yes, so the partition will take that. Your bonuses, Reading, are on places that share their names with colours in Romance languages. For example, the Mayan archaeological site of Rio Azul or the city of Orange in southern France. In each case, give the name from the description. First, for 5 points, the largest city of the Texas Panhandle, named after the tawny colour of its soil?
Yeah. Nominate Finkelstein.
Amarillo.
Yes. Secondly, a river of southern Spain whose distinctive colour is caused by high amounts of iron and other metals. A multinational mining company also bears this name.
Rio Tinto. Rio Tinto's the...
Rio Tinto.
Yeah.
Rio Tinto.
Yes. Finally, a small country named after the western extremity of a continent. Its capital is on the island of Santiago.
Capitals on the islands.
Cape Verde.
Cape Verde.
Cape Verde. Cape Verde.
Correct. Now start a question now, and it's a picture round. For your picture starter, you're going to see a still from a film. For 10 points, simply name this film.
Reading Finkelstein.
Bicycle Thieves.
No, you can have a bit more time extra, but you may not confer. Anyone want to have a guess? Nope, I'll tell you. It's Paper Moon. We'll take your picture bonuses in a moment. At the Tokyo Olympics held in 2021, Valerie Allman of the USA and Daniel Stahl of Sweden were the gold medal winners in what field event?
Reading Rock.
High jump.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. A competitor in this sport was notably depicted by the ancient Greek sculptor Myron. You may not confer.
Exeter car.
Discus.
It is the discus, yes. For your picture starter, you saw Ryan and Tatum O'Neill in the 1973 film Paper Moon. That was Tatum O'Neill's feature film debut, and she won an Academy Award for it in the category of Best Supporting Actress. Your picture bonuses are 3 more films for which actresses making their feature film debut won Academy Awards. I just want you to name the film in each case. First for 5 points.
Is that 12 years? 12 Years a Slave?
Yeah, I think you're naming the actress.
Is it? Oh, no, I thought we were naming for which the actress is named, so I think you named the film. I think it's 12 Years a Slave.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we want the film.
12 Years a Slave.
12 Years a Slave.
It is, yeah, Lupita Nyong'o, who won Best Supporting Actress. Secondly,
Okay.
The piano, I think. The piano.
Go for it. Go for it now.
The piano.
that's it, yeah, The Piano with Anne Paquin. And finally,
Okay, looks Regency.
Barbra Streisand, isn't it? Did you do Funny Girl? Any other Barbra Streisand films?
I'm not sure, but she's wearing a Regency dress, but go with Funny Girl.
Funny Girl.
it is, and it is Barbra Streisand from 1968. Now, let's start a question now. Found in birds and mammals, what name is given to the spongy tissue that is the production site of new red and white blood cells? It is found within bones such as the pelvis, sternum, ribs.
Reading Finkelstein.
Marrow.
It is marrow, yes. Your bonuses then, Reading, are 3 questions on the Roman Republic. The later Roman Republic was characterised by struggles between 2 loose political groupings of wealthier citizens. One was the populares, meaning populists. What was the other, meaning best ones or aristocrats?
The nobles patriae or nobilium.
What's your best guess?
Or I don't. Something. Patriae. Senator. Yeah, patriae.
Patriae.
No, that's the optimates or optimates. Dated to about 62 CE, Lucan's epic poem Pharsalia refers to a decisive battle in which Julius Caesar defeated which optimate leader, one of the first triumvirate?
He would have defeated. The first triumvirate is God, Caesar, Pompey or Crassus.
Pompey.
Yes, Pompey the Great. After the battle, Pompey fled to Egypt. He was killed there on the orders of the circle surrounding which king, a co-ruler with Cleopatra? I need only his regnal name.
Cleopatra.
Regnal name of
Co-ruler of Cleopatra. Do we have anything?
Don't.
Come on, give yourselves a chance for a high score.
Ramses.
It's Ptolemy XIII. 4 minutes to go, or just over. Garuda, the mount of the Hindu god Vishnu. The bird perched on the top of the world tree Yggdrasil, according to Norse mythology. And Etos Dios, Zeus's personal messenger and animal companion, are all examples of what birds of prey belonging to the family Accipitridae?
Exeter Moorcroft.
Eagle.
They are all eagles, yes. Well done. 3 questions for you, Exeter, on a chemical element. The end product of the uranium-238 radioactive decay chain is an isotope of which heavy metal element?
Lead.
Lead.
Yes, now largely outlawed, tetraethyl lead was primarily used in engine fuel for its ability to suppress what undesirable property caused by premature combustion of the air-fuel mixture?
Knocking.
Nominate Moorcroft.
Knocking.
Yes. In alchemic symbolism, lead was associated with which Roman god celebrated in a feast around the time of the winter solstice?
Saturn.
Saturn.
Yes. Now start a question. Quote, we have to act upon a moral field prepared for us by Milner and his Jingo supporters, and all for people whom we despise and for territory that will bring no profit and no power. These words of the Prime Minister Lord Salisbury.
Reading Finkelstein.
The American Revolutionary War.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. Of Lord Salisbury referred to the beginning of which conflict in the autumn of 1899?
The Second World War.
Is correct, yes, well done. Your bonuses are on the judgment of the dead in different mythologies. In ancient Egyptian mythology, the judgment of Osiris involves weighing the heart of the deceased against the white feather of which goddess, the personification of truth, justice and order?
So we've got Isis,
Isis is magic.
Anubis.
Anubis is death, but he's male.
Okay.
Could be if, I don't know, maybe Ifrit or something like that.
Ankh. Maybe Ankh.
Ankh, or...
Ankh.
No, it's Ma'at. In which ancient religion are souls believed to be sifted as they cross the Chinvat Bridge, which links the world of the living to the world of the dead? Rashnu, Srosha and Mithra are among the deities said to preside over the bridge.
So Mithra is kind of like Persian. So could it be Zoroastrianism?
Could be.
Nominate Llewellyn.
Zoroastrianism?
Yes. In Greek mythology, which legendary king of Crete is one of the 3 judges who assist Hades in determining the fate of the dead? He is the son of Zeus and Europa and the husband of Pasiphae.
It's Minos.
Minos, yeah.
Minos.
Correct. Another starter question. St Christopher Le Stocks, St Michael Crooked Lane and St Bennet Fink are among the now demolished London churches of which architect? 2023 marked the 300th anniversary of his death.
Exeter Llewellyn.
So Christopher Wren?
It is Christopher Wren, yes. Your bonuses are 3 questions on Jonathan Swift. What form of writing does Swift describe as a sort of glass wherein beholders do generally discover everybody's face but their own?
With a big kaleidoscope.
Is it like what type of writing? Yeah.
Yeah.
Kaleidoscope, according to Breaker.
Okay, yeah.
Thinking satire, but kaleidoscope might work.
Come on.
Kaleidoscope.
No, it's satire from the Battle of the Books. According to Swift, which English philosopher, quote, clearly proves that every creature lives in a state of war by nature?
Right, an Anglo philosopher.
Yeah, could be Hobbes.
Go with that.
Hobbes.
Yes, a reference to his Leviathan. Finally, what astronomical objects does Swift liken to old men, noting that both have been reverenced for the same reason, their long beards and pretenses to foretell events?
Comet.
Yeah.
Comet.
Correct. Let's start a question. What standard distance is defined to be exactly 149,597,870,700 metres, or just over 499 light seconds?
Reading Finkelstein.
A parsec.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. It is based on the mean Earth-Sun distance.
Exeter Moorcroft.
The astronomical unit.
Yes, that's right. Or alien, yes. 3 questions for you, Exeter, on colour. And at the gong, Reading University at 100, Exeter have 240. It was just the first 5 and last 5 minutes where you sort of slightly disappeared and they raced away to a massive lead and you never quite caught up. There was a moment in the middle where I thought it was going to come good and you're going to pull off one of the all-time comebacks, but have you vaguely enjoyed it?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well, we've absolutely loved having you. Thank you so much. Exeter, that was really good. I mean, you made it quite stressful for yourselves in the middle by going silent for about 10 minutes, but then you pulled away at the end, and your knowledge of minerals and mining was exemplary. So well done. We shall see you again for sure. I hope you can join us next time for another first-round match, but until then, it is goodbye from Reading University.
Goodbye.
It's goodbye from Exeter University.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.